Welcome back to A Faith That Will Not Fail. This is day 2 of week 4 as we're looking at relinquishment and what it means to let go of control. I'm Rustin.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Tammy.
And we're glad that you're here joining us on this journey. Day 2 is all about the relief of letting go. Sometimes I don't know how much relief there is in that for me, but it's part of it. And our author in this day shares a prayer by a 20-year-old named Thomas McClellan and in the 1800s. Yeah. And the prayer is a beautiful prayer about how as he was starting his business and engaging in launching into life, how he wrote a prayer that said, God, I really want you to have control of all pieces of my existence. And so that's the frame of this day, and it's kind of the frame of, God, not my will but yours.
What's our hardest thing? What's the hardest thing for us to share? Is it our time? Is it our presence? Is it our money? Those are kind of the things that were coming up for me. And I enjoyed reading the prayer, and then I was like, okay, thank you for grounding me that it was written in the 1800s, because I needed to go rewrite it in today's English because the words didn't matter. Yeah. I was like, consecrate, I know we should know this. And it's like, make sacred. Okay, make me sacred in all that I do. How the heck do I do that?
You know, it's interesting for me because, like, when I think about letting go, for me, it is relief, right? It's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this anymore. And I know that's harder said than done for some, but for me, it's like, okay, God, I can't do it anymore. Take over because I'm lost. And so I don't know why, you know, for some of us, it might be easier to say those words and to let go than others. But for me, I like the widow's mite and these stories just really kind of, speak to a part of me that I get and that I understand more from the widow's side than from the onlooker side. It's like, all right, God, this is all I got. Take it and do what you will, you know? And so I love McClellan's prayer too. I thought it was really good. One of the things I highlighted in this today
was the prayer.
Yeah.
This one brought up for me the idea of the difference between our circle of concern and our circle of influence.
Oh, say more.
Right? That like this idea that I have concerns for a lot of things, but there's so much that I can't do anything about, but yet I live my life like I can. And so being able to distinguish for me what is in that circle of concern for me, really, those just become prayer issues. Like all I can do in this space is pray.
Yeah.
And then the circle of influence where like I can make a difference in this space, but then what does it look like in those spaces as well to let go and to say, while I may have some capacity to create change in these spaces, what does it look like for God to lead in those spaces first as well? It's another thing that popped up for me.
The idea of looking forward to, like, again, going back to Thomas McClellan's story, it's just like the idea of his prayer happened, but yet it wasn't till a century later, right, you know, that things came to pass. And so some of the realization that, you know, we read these Bible stories and we read, you know, these sections of the Bible, and we forget these happen over decades and, you know, the process. And so there is a process of letting go. It's not just, okay, I'm done, right?
Right. One moment.
And I just what I appreciate most about this book and her engagement in it is this idea that these are practices. They're things that move us toward deeper connection with God, and they actually don't move us closer if we don't practice them.
Yes, right? Like any exercise. Like that's what I keep, every time I've read this, it's like, oh yeah, this is another muscle that I could stretch more, I could work more. If you do it once, your body doesn't have that muscle memory.
Richard Foster makes a difference between trying and training.
Yeah.
Right?
That's really good.
I can try a lot of things, but until I train at it, I'm not going to run a marathon. Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. So this is the reality of this. So Michelle's 5-minute faith builder for today wraps back around Thomas McClellan's prayer. I think a great idea would be to rewrite it like you did in current English in the way that you feel comfortable. But to rewrite this prayer, to read it, and then to offer that prayer to God for today. Yeah,
and I challenge you, if you do rewrite it in English, I would like to read it. And so, Tammy, when you get yours done,
I will post mine.
I want you to post yours, yes. And so, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.